Welcome back, friends. Due to the current challenge, maybe 2 or 3 days we'll be having online session only. Uh, Today we try to discuss. So earlier we discussed about automation. What is the need for automating the CR? So whether using a technology or a website, why there is a need for automating all the sales process or a business process or a field force process as we discussed. So today we try to discuss about multi-channel CRM and few technologies or concepts. It's actually, we can't say it's a technology, it's a concept used in a, designing a CRM technology. So that is today we try to discuss about it. So if anybody is having any problem, kindly text in the chat because every time I can't see you physically, kindly cooperate. So as the word says, multi-channel CRM. We already studied in marketing what is channel. Channel is the way of distributing our products and services to different category of people in different places. That is called as channel. Channel is the way or tool so that we can reach our service or product to the end customer. So just or brick store or brick business. Mortar means it is when we go to the other modes. Okay. So normally it is brick and mortar is a mix of online and offline. Like our class what we are taking online plus offline class, the same way, whether you are directly interacting or whether you are interacting through some other mode. That is called as brick and mortar. The same way multi-channel means when I want to reach a customer, I cannot have only one mode. So retail shop, physical retail shop, I can encourage the customer to come to the retail shop. But when there is a situation when the customer is not interested to come to the store, or he has a challenge to come to the store, especially in COVID-19, even we want to go for a shopping, we can't go. So we try to adopt many channels to get the product. So one is making a call or using an app like that we tried during the COVID time. So generally we have a physical visit, but during the COVID, what we did, we use the telecalling, or sometimes we are using still now we are using an app. So there are three channels available even now when we want to purchase. They say concept is called as multi-channel. So whenever a business person wants to reach a customer, nowadays it is suggested to have a multi-channel here. Why means we don't want to miss out any type of customers for any reason. That is called as multi-channel CRM. So in the slide also it is given what how the florist. Florist means the person who is selling a flower. Okay, so even for selling a flower, we can have a multi-channel. So sometimes customers can come directly to the garden to buy a flower, or sometimes he will come to the store to buy a flower. Even coming to the store, sometimes he will make a prior order. I am going to buy the flower. I want to pick up a flower by 9 o'clock. We can make a call by 8:30 itself to make it everything available, put in a parcel ready. So just now 9 o'clock I can take. Or otherwise, I will come by 8:30. I will take 30 minutes. I will analyze the flower. I can take. There is also another mode. So now another mode is we can have an application or we can have a software. So as like we are using many apps. So if the florist have a separate website, that is one channel. If he is having a third-party software which can be downloaded in our Android phone, that is another channel. So through this, if I am browsing, a lot of flowers daily wise it is visible. I can select the flower. I can select the package how it has written. I can select the offer. I can select what time it can be delivered or what time it can be picked. So I am giving a lot of options. So this is one option, either using an app or using some other website. Okay. So even for a buying of flower nowadays, because the buying of flower itself is becoming a huge business in terms of value, the gifting behavior, celebrations, decorations, even a flower. So even it is a very soon it will get unused. So we can't use for a longer period of time. We can't store it for a longer period of time. But still, even for these sensitive products also, we are able to use it using a CRM. So it's not only with respect to the buyer side. Okay, so multi-channel is useful for the buyer. So at any time, he can buy the product either in online or offline or using application. So it's not only application software. For example, I can use to we can using a mail. If we are sending a mail to the company, that is one channel. If we are making a call, that is one channel. If you are sending a letter, quotation letter, that is a channel. Fax, that is a channel. Website, that is a channel. And some other website or some other software, we have a live chat. For example, in our Zoom, we have an interaction option. Okay, even the Zoom is a visual on one channel, and I can speak. Second channel, you can text. Third channel, you can use symbols. That is the fourth channel. So even the Zoom itself, we can interact using the portal. The same way, the customers can interact in different way according to his convenience. So consumer side, the CRM is very important. Now coming back is not only for the consumer side, as a manufacturer, as a company person, how it helps. So just we don't want to miss out any customers. That's fine. We don't want to spend more money in getting order, delivering a product, and getting the payment, making a follow up, resolving the complaint. Yes, it's already we studied these much of issues in general trade that it can be reduced or resolved using a CRM. That's fine. So if we have a multi-channel CRM, we give more options to starting from the order taking to the delivery to the complaint handling. It's fine. Apart from this, multiple channel CRM or a CRM is highly required for making a reminder. So, for example, you are purchasing a shoe 6 months once. So, I have a track. So, I have a CRM. Okay, so it is interconnected with your mobile also as you become a customer. So, every 6 months, so for example, postman buy the shoes for every 3 months. So, you suggested that 3 months, maximum 6 months. You are with a particular brand or particular size you are buying. So, when you are buying for around 2 to 3 years, approximately 9 times you bought it, you might be busy or you might be engaged in some other work to forget about the issue. But if the CRM is linked means I can suggest you, yes, or the system can suggest you this is summer or this is winter. At this situation, you normally buy this type of shoes, and according to your body temperature, this product is suitable now. Likewise, I can send a message. It's automated message. So whether you are buying or not, every 3 months once, then the reminder can be done. Again, if it is through multi-channel, I can send the same information through a message, through automated call, or a telecall, or pop-up messages, or website linkages, or fax, or letter. These all are called the channels. Okay, so I can give you a reminder. This is high time you have to change the shoe. Or post-person, this is very important. Or we can connect with the medicine. You are have a regular patient who is buying from your medical, for example, pharmaceutical, you are having medical. So you know very well this scenario, the COVID scenarios, we don't know when the outlets will be open, when the outlets will be closed, when the curfew will be extended. We don't know. So if you have some information through some other channel, if you have proper CRM, you can remind the patient, yes, every 15 days you will buy this particular tablet. Okay, but according to our count, now you might be having only 4. Day after tomorrow and tomorrow will be the Saturday, Sunday. So you can't buy. So Monday you need the new another strip has to be bought. So please plan accordingly. Otherwise, if you want to order now itself, you can click a button. We will deliver you. This is one type. So, if it is done, it will create more loyalty. We are not looking for increase in the sales, we are giving just a reminder. Even the hospitals are doing it. For example, if you go for one-time general checkup to anyone of the hospital, exactly, they will give a 365 days, it is valid. So, when I was after 30 years, everybody is suggested to go for a yearly once test. Okay, so they will give a detailed thing, this is your thing, but this is valid only for 1 year. So exactly by 365th day or 365th day or one day before, 1 week before, they will send a message. Thank you for being our customer. So 2020 you had a test. This is your situation. And now it is high time you have to go for a checkup. So please come for a checkup. This is one information. So you are just making a reminder. And another one, because of this is the situation, we are offering this package, and we are opened a new branch near your place, or I can arrange a specific doctor. So because last year itself your BP is little bit worrying, and you have to check with the sugar. Sugar is in the border, so we want to confirm whether it is same or it is increasing. If we have any query needs, can we arrange for a particular doctor? Because getting a doctor is also a problem in today's scenario. So, reminding you, confirming your order, and making lot of arrangements with respect to your medicine, with respect to your other devices, cat devices, because we have to reduce the queue. If it is done means there's no need to wait. So everything is booked means I can go to the hospital by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock the test will be over. By 10:30 I can have a discussion with the doctor. By 11 o'clock I can get all the medicines. If required, 11 o'clock I can go for a scan. By exactly 11:30 we leave the hospital. But nowadays it's not happening like that. Even going for the hospital, we have to wait for n number of hours. But if the multi-channel CRM is implemented, so at least any one mode will reach you, either a SMS or a telecall or a mail, any one way I can reach you, I can remind you. So your time delay or time lead in the particular premises is reduced. And especially in the COVID situation, I am able to maintain the social distance among the patients, and I can arrange a specific doctors at a specific time. And even the medical also I can avoid the queue. In the scan center also I can avoid the queue. In the scan center also I can put, so for example, the scan center there will be a number of machines. So today's challenge is whether to open a particular business unit or can we have a selected employees. That's the problem. So think about a scan center. In the scan center, if we are unable to predict number of patients coming for checkup or scanning or other X-ray. So even if you go to a scan center, there will be n number of machines are there. Each person should be a technical person. For that, we have to pay. Whether the patient is coming or not, they are not working in the commission. They have to be paid with some amount, irrespective of number of patients. So, if you are unable to predict number of patients, sometime what will happen? There will be more crowd. You may not be able to serve them. Another time, there will be no crowd, but your all employees are waiting. Their resources underutilized or unutilized, but you have to pay the same amount of money. So, connecting with your service person with respect to the lab, connecting with the doctors, connecting with the patients, connecting with the hospital, and another thing, connecting with the nearby hotel or the canteen facilities given by the hospital, and connecting with your travels or cab facilities. So all things can be connected if you have a multi-channel CRM properly designed. So that is the benefit of multi-channel CRM. Another scenario we can take, even if you go for a beauty salon. So nowadays again in this scenario, going to the salon itself, that is a very big challenge. And another thing, it is actually a customized and personalized service. As like a doctor is a risky thing, so we cannot go to all the doctors. Okay, so we might be having a preferred doctor because the same doctor will know our history better. Unless your CRM is proper, the next doctor cannot suggest anything. That is one thing. So we offer the same way with the beauty salon will be preferring only particular stylist. Okay, so we may be having a very good relationship. They understand our health, they understand our hair, they understand our skin, and our expectation and our payment ability. So actually, you want to connect particularly to the stylist. So in the beauty salon, there may be 10 stylists will be there. So without CRM, again, I cannot predict when you will come and what time you will come. So when you are coming, what type of cosmetic I should be get arranged, because keeping more stock is highly unviable in today's scenario, because we don't know when the customer will come, when we are going to close. So if I know that tomorrow if you are going to come, I can make order for a cosmetic. I can inform the particular stylist you prefer to come on the time, and I can avoid other stylists. So as a shift, I can make them to come tomorrow, and I can avoid other customers to come on the later hours. If it has not happened, again, like a hospital, all will be crowded at the same time. The stylist may or may not available. Even they are available, they don't know how to serve you because there are a lot of crowd. And as we are unable to predict what will be the usage of cosmetics, we may not have a proper stock. That is also a problem. Overstocking, understanding is also a problem. So, if we have a multi-channel CRM to connecting our customers in the beauty salon, connecting our stylists, connecting our suppliers, then it is very easy. It reduces all time and it's cost effective and will serve the customers better. So we can connect many things using a CRM. So far, this understanding multi-channel CRM. So CRM, we studied about CRM, automation of the business using CRM. Then how it works. So we have to learn already seen about data mining, etc. Same way, the same concept. How we can do this CRM to be very effective. So one word is data integration. Data integration means yes, as we said, with the support of CRM, with the support of application, with the support of lot of technology, we can able to get lot of information. We click one thing, we'll be getting lot of information. Yes, but how I can analyze it? So unless it is properly collected, it's properly segmented, it's properly stored, it's very difficult to retrieve in a proper way. So the first process is called as data integration. In the data integration itself, we have three levels of collecting the data. So data integration is just collecting the data from various sources. Data integration. So there will be a lot of resources. The resources can be a customer, can be a supplier, can be in between service provider, can be a third party. So we can get information from different people that has to be integrated. So collecting from different sources and compiling and storing in proper way. So it doesn't mean that all the data has to be collected and stored in the EPC. Already studied about cloud computing. Cloud computing, we are not going to store everything in the one same place. Okay, so you can have your own data, I can have my own data. So for example, as a doctor, I can give my qualification, my time availability, and my specialization, my cost. This data is available with me. As a customer, you can tell you about your family history, your payment ability, and your expected service to be done, and from how much distance you are from the hospital. This data is available with you, and I can support with I can integrate with the cab facility who can connect these two, and I can integrate with the pharma. So pharmaceuticals, they have their own inventories, their own stock facilities. They are having. So when we say data integration, whenever it is required, at the time if I am clicking one icon, then all the 4 5 will be integrated and show us a report. So data integration means we are not just like collecting the data and keeping in PC. So for example, if you take your laptop, okay, so even it is required or not, we will be collecting a lot of information. Especially for example, if you are having 7 subjects you have to study these, all the 7 subject PPT you are having, all the 7 subject PDF you are having, all the 7 subject questions you are having. So when we have to prepare, you have to search everything. And assume that you are continuously studying, you are having a lot of notes at one point of time, your laptop storage will be exhausted. And reverse, if you are storing everything in your mobile, it will be used. So that's why we have a LMS, learning management system. So learning management system is an example for data integration. So I am feeding one data. So for example, the same subject is dealt with 3 different faculties in 3 different sections. But LMS we are having the same. It's a platform. So I am feeding one thing, another faculty is feeding some input, another faculty is feeding some input. Some students having inquiry, some students want to browse something, some students want to download something. So here you can see, for example, mine is 1 GB file, faculty B is 1 GB file, faculty C is 1 GB file. So we have everything at our thing. It is integrated in the accounts. Now your data, your mobile is also integrated with the LMS if you download it. But 1 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB. So for per subject there is a 3 GB, 7 subject 21 GB. So actually, if you check your mobile, 21 GB is not consumed. Even you have a LMS, you can get the details of 21 GB. But actually, only if you require to download, then only your data is used. Then only your storage GB is used. Otherwise, all the data remain with the specific process only. That is an example for data integration. Simple, it is reduced unwanted storage. Whenever required, we can get. Because what is the problem with having more data is we will be more confused. In 2021, what is the biggest problem is the information. We call it as information is we have an n number of information, but we don't know which information has to be interpreted at what time, what is the priority of information. If you go to the Google, it will give n number of information. If you go to the Flipkart and Amazon, it will give you n number of information. How I can segment it. So this data integration. So when you are designing a CRM, please ensure the data integration process is properly planned. Okay. So simple definition: data integration is collecting or compiling information or data from different sources so that we can use it later. These things are explained here. So for data integration, we should know about some basic concepts. Okay, you might be knowing it. Just a reminder: data warehouse. Warehouse means storing a data. How your data has to be stored, whether it has to be stored in my place or your place, or it can be stored in cloud. If it is in cloud means the storage will not taken for any of the places, even for the service provider, receiver, intermediary. It will not be there. It will be a general cloud. Okay, so how I want to store, whether some data has to be kept by a particular person, or all the data should be available with me, or all the data can be integrated with the cloud. So that process is called the data warehousing. How we are storing the data so that it can be retrieved whenever it is possible. So it's like arrangement of goods in a particular place. So, for example, in the godown, we will be having n number. For example, you take 10 different products. One product may be heavy, one product may be liquid, one product may be durable, one product may be undurable. So, how you are arranging it? So, whenever a customer is looking for a product and the rack is out of stock, you can come inside the godown. You can click easily. You can pick any good product, whichever is required by the customer. So unless you arrange the products in order, it is very difficult to pick, right? And we are having a concept of LIFO, FIFO, last in, last out, first in, first out. So the taking of a product at the time of emergency depends upon how you kept the product. That we call in marketing, we call this merchandising, arranging a product in a proper way where it has to be kept. So that is called as data warehousing. So warehousing is just how we can store. The definition we can study later. Data migration. Migration, you know very well, migration. It's a movement of one person from one place to another place, one location to another location. So a lot of migration is happening from other villages to Bangalore for some reason. So it's a movement. The same way, data migration means you are having one data, I am having one data. So how the data can be migrated or taken from you or moved from your system to my system. So normally in our mobile we use the word called movement. Okay, so moving from SD card to internal memory or internal memory to SD card. In the folder itself we can change different C. The laptop we can change C folder, D folder. That is a movement of data. Migration, the data migration means so in CRM you should have some path so that the data required can be migrated, can be moved, can be analyzed. So that is called data migration. How we can migrate the data. Okay. Next, enterprise application information intelligence is the same way. Okay. So this is storing, this is moving. This is how we are integrating different sources. We have different information. How we can. The last one we should have a data master data management. Master data management is a consolidated. As I said, for example, if you go to a hospital, doctor is having one, is allowed to use some data. A patient is allowed to access some data. Pharmacy is allowed to use some data. CAP facility is allowed to use some data. And scan center is allowed to use some data. So each and every person have their own rights or their own capacity to get the data within their limits. But assume that you are the entire owner for the entire structure of the hospital. You have a master data. So only you can access all the data from all the data. So for example, in our college, we can take a management can access any data from anywhere. So even the system from where we are discussing, it can be accessed because all things are integrated and the master data can be available in the server. So you should have a CRM. At any point, I can connect to any people. That is called as integration. So at any point, I can store the data. That is called as warehousing. Any part can be moved from one to another. So another example of data migration earlier. If you have a lot of phone numbers, Okay, lot of phone numbers. If you missed the mobile, I'm speaking about the future phone, not the Android phone. If you miss the mobile, you will be losing all the numbers. So later they come up with some application like Bluetooth. In the Bluetooth, we can share. Earlier we send the message, we have to send all the numbers in the message. That is also data migration using message. Then they use the Bluetooth. But when come to the Android phone, so there is a lot of application available to transfer whatever data available in your mobile, not only the mobile number, it can be transferred. And we can use a card, and even without the card, if using a Wi-Fi, we can transfer. If you are storing your mobile number, email ID, your contact, everything in cloud of Google. For example, if you take an Android phone, whenever you are saying a number, it will show two options. You want to save the number in phone, or you want to save the number in SD card, or you want to save in Google Drive. If you select defaultly, if you select the Google Drive means all your data, whenever you are storing the number, it will go to your Google Drive, but that can be accessible through your mobile because your Google Mail, Gmail, and mobile is integrated. Any data from Gmail can be migrated to your mobile, and any data from mobile can be migrated to your Gmail. So, for example, you lost your mobile, get another mobile, activate the Gmail, refresh within fraction of seconds. You will get all the data with respect to your mail ID, phone number, can be accessed to your mobile. This is master data management because all your data you are keeping in master data. The same way WhatsApp is also giving an option, backup. The backup, you are storing all the data in your SD card or your memory, that is one storage. But when you click the backup, that is stored in the cloud. Even you move to different system or different mobile, the master data of the WhatsApp with a particular number is available. So it can be accessible. So I'm saying some example. The same way, when you create a CRM, please ensure that your CRM have enough technical details for data values, storing, enough ways to migrate the data, enough ways to integrate the data. Integration means using data from different sources. And we can collaborate. And we are going to see another word called collaboration. And if required, I need the master data. These all facilities should be within your CRM. Whenever you are requesting your designer to go for a CRM, you have to say like this. So, for example, we will say with respect to our thesis in our products. Okay. So, if I go to the master admin, we call this admin, I can see all your details from the day when you enter into the college, first day of admission. So, what is your entry, what is your payment, what is your performance, example, what is your attendance, till last day when you get your convocation. So in between how many times you late, how many times you paid the fine, how many times you are incentivized, how many scholarships you receive. Everything is available not only for one student, for the entire campus, including the faculty, staff members, students. That is called as master data. So one side we should have a separate data accessible by that particular end. Students are allowed to access only your end only. Faculty are allowed to access only our end only. Management can access everything. That way, when you want to design a CRM, something has to be private, something can be public. So these concepts you have to remember when you go for a data integration. So challenges of data integration is, so whenever you are going for a design, that time you face a challenge. When we go for an implementation, we go for a challenge based on the availability of the software, based on the infrastructure available, based on the capacity of the user or collaborator. And after this, before launching the CRM, we have to go for a test. So these are three steps we can remember: design, implementation. And how I can integrate? Yes, you should know that why you have to integrate, what are the ways you have to integrate, and what are the techniques we are having to integrate. So these are few techniques. Nowadays we are having a lot of terminology which is available in website and reference for. But I am just listing out a few integration techniques. First one is manual integration and common integration. So in the CRM, we should allow the suppliers or retailers or customers to type their data. Whatever may be the CRM, it should be the option manually I can type. That's a manual integration or common user integration. Next one is application based integration. So, for using an here, we should have some application. Application already we studied. Application can be a .NET based or Java based or C Sharp based, whatever it depends upon the platform you're using. So, you can use some application. Through this, you can integrate with your customer. So, without making them to type or do manually, through your application, through the technology, you can make them to use the data. Third one is middleware data integration. Middleware. What is middleware? Middleware is a type of software. Okay. So you are having one mobile. Okay. The mobile has certain software. I have some here. The software has certain software for the other technical details is having unit system. So middleware is like an agent. Okay. So you have one system. I have one system. Your system can be mobile. My system can be a laptop. So now that can be a third party software or a middleware. When the middleware is installed in my PC and the middleware is installed in your mobile, when we have some OTP or password share, now this middleware is act as a bridge between these two. That is called as middleware. So with middleware, for example, we can say when we want to share information from PC to mobile, we will be downloading from Android middleware. So please download, please activate on our mobile also. For example, if you want to connect the mobile camera, so I am having mobile camera. If I feel that the mobile camera is better than the PC camera, then there is one software available. It's called as middleware. So I have to install the same software in my mobile and I have to install the same software in the PC. I have to activate the code and the Wi-Fi should be on. Now, this so I can see the mobile that can be connected to that. This is sharing of our benefits, sharing of our technology. So now my mobile is different, the PC is different, but these two devices can be connected using some agent that is called middleware. It's the middleware is a software which can do data integration between different people or different ways. Next one we have to see uniform data access or virtual integration. That is one concept. So virtually again here virtually means you should have some internet connectivity. So whenever we are connecting, how I am connecting to you, the same data is retrieved from my side. So there is a uniform data access. And another one is common data storage or physical data integration. Common data storage is so either I can say if your mobile and my mobile is integrated or collaborated means I can save 100 songs, you can save 100 songs. When our both mobile are integrated, I will have 200 songs, you also have. So we have common data storage. So for example, we can tell an example like again with the Google. If my Google Drive is shared, okay, so actually LMS is a shared drive. Okay, if I have a data, if I share you the Google Drive, I am sharing you your email ID in the Google Drive. I can store a number of folders in the same drive. You can also save a number of in the same folder. I can access, you can access. Okay, so for example, you have to submit 10 assignments. We both are sharing. I will do 5 assignments. I will do the common one. You are also doing another 5 assignments. You are doing the common one. Now, both the 10 folders are available to us. Now, as we go together sharing this common drive to the respective faculty members. For the faculty, there is only one information available, the 10 assignment reports. But it actually shared with you. So that is called the common data storage. So your storage and my storage can be integrated. So the data integration technique can be in different ways with respect to sharing or our own devices, can be using an application based integration or using a middleware software we can integrate, or we can have a uniform data access. So for both of them we are having a uniform data access that can be done, or it can be common data storage. Okay, these are some technologies we can use. So friends, kindly respond. Is it okay? Can we continue? If there is any disturbances in between, can you respond? Yes. Next, so now earlier we talked about what are the different types of CRM, different types of CRM channel. Next, we can discuss something about how I can analyze the data available. So getting a data, we have a number of sources. Nowadays, you lot of even you pay, even you can outsource, you can get n number of data. You can get the n number of data. But how the data can be analyzed using those CRM. So now we are going to see some concepts which is related to how the data can be analyzed. So these three things, there are a number of analysis type is available nowadays, but as per our syllabus, we are going to discuss about only three data analysis techniques: OLAP, fixed theme analysis, personalization, collaborative filter. So this may come as a big question. So the second one is the data analysis type. So anything can be come as a 2 mark question, or some question can be discussed about OLAP, its application plus or minus, or what is the advantage of fixed theme analysis. So these are the general theory concepts to be applied in CRM. Okay, but we have to know the basics of it. So first one is OLAP, online analytical processing. That is that OLAP, online analytical processing. Okay, so online analytical processing is simply we have to go for online reporting, analyzing the results, submitting. So generally we say storing a data, or collecting the data, or mining the data, analyzing the data, or interpreting the data. Then how we have to prepare a report, that is also important. Collecting, storing, retrieving, reporting. These four things are together called as analytical process. When it is done through online, when it is internet is connected, okay, when other connectivity can be landline or internet, so it's online. So mostly we come to online. It's online, so it is called as online analytical process. So how our data can be analyzed online. This is what terminology or technology we are using. We have to use in our designing any CR. So, for example, if you are having a company, the company will be having many departments like marketing, HR, finance, production, IT, etc. Especially with respect to the OLAP, online analytical processing is more emphasized on the lower end. So we have a top level, middle level, and bottom level or operation level. So with respect to the online analytical processing, mostly it take care of lower end. Why it is taking care of lower end? Only the lower end will get more number of data. The data has to be collected from the lower end. And final implementation will also happen lower end. So the lower end, or in the same thing we call it the front end. Okay, they are so important because collecting the data is only possible through them, and delivering our decision only possible through them. Okay, so OLAP is mainly focused on analyzing data in the lower end or operation. Okay. So if we take marketing, the marketing means the OLAP may be applicable in terms of sales. Maybe the data which is related to the retailer or end consumer or sales. If you take HR, HR bottom level is the executives who are taking care of payroll. Okay, it is a word called payroll processing. Payroll processing starting from the attendance of the employees, regularities of the employees, what date we join, what is the position, what is the incentive, what is the bonus, whatever it may be, everything is called as payroll processing till is PS settlement, is retirement, full and final settlement, is relieving, everything comes as payroll. So that is one category. So, irrespective of any person, we have to get salary. Irrespective of any person, we have to mention our attendance. Irrespective of anything, we have to show our performance. So, this is the starting level. So, HR, if we take the payroll processing, in the payroll processing, it is one segment, or otherwise, recruitment is also comes under front end. So recruitment is a common word. If you go to the corporate company, recruitment itself there is a 5 to 6 hierarchy. So if you immediately a fresher, MBA fresher, they will put as a activity one. Your work is to just to collect the resume from various sources. That's it. You have to browse, you have to go through shine.com, you have to go through jobs.com, you have to download many resumes. That is only your work. That is the starting stage. When you go to the next stage, you will be allowed to filter. So this much number of resumes, you have to filter with this filter. Next level, after the filtering, you have to call the respective employees and arrange for recruitment. Recruitment means making them to come for interview. Next level, conduct the interview. So conducting the interview, you should become a middle level HR. Even you are in recruitment. The HR have different domains. If I speak about only recruitment, recruitment is different. So you can conduct some interview. After that, you just conduct the interview. The decision can be taken by next level HR. Next level HR have a final round where the negotiation is taken. So HR, in the HR, the starting stage is recruitment. In the starting recruitment itself, we have N number of things. These type of data can be analyzed using OLAP. OLAP means what is the requirement, what is the qualification required, what is the average salary we can pay. These are some data. What is the experience required, the skills required, this is one data. Now you are going for giving an advertisement. How many employees or candidates came for the interview? You have the categories. How it is categories? Through Hindu paper ad, how many came? Through ad in the Amazon, given advertisement, how many came? Sending a message, how many came? Through the reference, how many came? Through the consultancy, how many came? So here we are not at all going to recruit anyone, but which source is effective, so that next time I can go for that source. If we look for cost effective, which source is okay. If you want to get that urgent appointment, which is okay, which is very cheaper mode, which mode gives me an experienced good candidate. So these type of analysis, then we have to adapt our OLAP. The same thing for a sales. If we sales, we can think about a retailer or a salesman. Here I want to know retail outlet. What is the location of the retail outlet? How much distance it will take by the salesman from moving to the distributor point to the retail point? Because I want to track salesman. So retail, distributor, company, manager, salesman, all are integrated. But I am speaking only in the front end because I said this is no error. So I want to guide, I want to monitor salesman means I have to get the information where the retail outlets are located. Who are the real user for my product? Whether the distributor or the retailer or the end consumer. Who is my target? And performance of the product. How it is selling. And unit wise I can calculate. Time delay. Which product I am getting more claims, damages? Which product is giving more profit? What are the customers who are going for regular purchases? This is one side. Another side, comparing all these data with the sales. So I have a location. So outlet 1, outlet 2, outlet 3, outlet 4, outlet 5. Each outlet distance is this much kilometer. For per order, it will take only 2 minutes. Everything is data. So first time, for example, he is having a one device. Okay, so he is just entering in the first outlet. For entering itself, it takes 3 minutes. That is also recorded. Then he is going to the next outlet. So time, distance, how many footsteps or how many minutes he traveled. Next outlet. Again, the outlet is also geotagged. I know even we say from this store, that store, I can able to understand from where he is. So exact location from first store to second store. So how much minute it took from moving from first store to second store, and I know whether he is claiming for petrol or whether he is claiming for bus. I can understand what route he used, whether it is right or wrong. Next outlet, how much time he is spending. How I can analyze? When we enter the data, there is a gap. First outlet, we entered by 10 o'clock. Second outlet, we entered the order by 1 o'clock. So nearly 3 to 11, 12, nearly 3 hours delay from first order to second order. And I can compare first order, what is the amount of order. Second order, what is the amount of order. So first order, he spent 1 hour, he took 10,000 rupees. Second order, he spent only 50, he took 2 lakh. Why? So whether the time is required for this outlet or that outlet. So if some outlet is taking more time, but there is no salesman, I have to ask the question whether the salesman selected the right outlet or whether he is speaking right or wrong, or whether I have to go to guide what is possible. Another thing is credit or cash. This cash discount, other display discount. When the salesman is repeatedly going to the same outlet again, there is a frequency. Per month, how many times he is going? What is the time delay between first visit and second visit? Again, if I am able to link with their device, that's the retail device, I can calculate whether what time will become out of stock. If I is selling one honey means how many days it will take to sell. So retailer, salesman, distributor. It's only bottom level. I see only a sales. So these type of analysis can be done by online analytical software. Next, so it is for lower, it is for, so now most of our business is going online, and most of us we started using website or social media for promoting the product. So at this situation, when you are designing a CRM, you have to ensure your CRM should be enabled with click stream analysis. That's the word called click stream analysis. So here again, as like certain other topics, here also there will be a there will be a 4 steps: collection, storage, analysis. Irrespective of anything, we have to learn this. Okay, so we have to collect the data, store the data, analyze the data, and in this clickstream data analysis, we have two sub-levels: web traffic analysis, commerce-based analysis. Okay, so again, to understand the simply, we can say clickstream. So click means mouse. We are having a mouse. So we have to click, even with the mobile, with the touch, it's also called click. When we want to analyze how the consumer is using or clicking, that's called click. As I said in the earlier example, the salesman is traveling to which place, what outlet, how many times he is going, what is the frequency. The same way, I can analyze the customer. So as he is coming to the website, as he is coming to other things, I don't want to track for the salesman. I want to analyze how the customer is behaving. If he is coming to the supermarket, means I can fix up some camera. I can make two salesmen or sales girls to stand and to observe how the customer is coming, how he is entering, how he is moving to the first track, second track, how much time he is taking for analyzing the product, how many product he is taking and checking, and what is the bill. So these things are possible if they are coming to the outlet. But if they are purchasing through online, not only purchasing, if they are browsing through online, how I can track their behavior? That facility using your CRM is called as clickstream analysis. So clickstream analysis, I will just mention what other things can be done. In the clickstream analysis, we can, the word is called web usage mining. Mining means we have to extract the data. Web usage mining. How they are using the application or the screen. Now in the mobile we are using the screen. How the screen is optimally utilized, or web usage mining. It tries to find out the pattern of usage of the web page. So for example, if I am here, means I am just going to the left side, I am just clicking, then I am coming to the right side, then I am going to the down. This mouse movement can be recorded if you are in the office. Okay, so immediately log into the website. There will be some tracking can be done through click analysis. So from first click, where I am clicking, left or right, exactly to the point, left to bottom 2 centimeters below this diagram, below this picture, left side of the email. It's the first click. After the click, something will be popping up, right? That is also tracked. When some another website is coming, whether he is reading the website, how much second he is reading the website. After reading the website, whether he is closing the website and coming back to the previous screen, or whether he is going to the another website. Flow. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So for example, you are browsing for 1 hour, means I can track what are the places you are moving. Your movement is tracked with the mouse movement. Your click. Because mostly the left click enables you to move to the next screen. So identify the pattern of usage of web page and how you are moving in the website. Every person has their own behavior. Somebody is left-handed or right-handed, or somebody will be comfortable in keeping. Even you are typing your email ID, just observe. Somebody will make the email ID to the icon to come top, and they will type. Somebody will keep down. Okay, so we have different behaviors based on our personality. So that movement within the website can be tracked. And when we are clicking, so whether you are clicking after the advertisement or before the advertisement, the advertisement, what type of advertisement? Whether it's a print related visual advertisement, or audio related advertisement or advertisement with celebrities, we can check. And how you are clicking, whether you are clicking randomly or whether you are clicking rationally. Rationally means you are reading and reading and reading. And after clicking one icon, how much time you are staying in the same page. That means whether you are thinking and deciding, or if you have a behavior just like the clicking, 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 you are going to the next page, means you are an emotional warrior. Correct? So this has to be analyzed. And if I analyze everything, at least 1 month, if I am able to track your this click stream, I can decide what product you are to buy. I can make you to buy this particular product by giving this advertisement, by this promotion, because I understood your plan. So it's not only your finger, it's not only your mouth, it is related to your brain. So this analysis is not at all possible even in your physical observation. Because physical observation, I can see your eyes, your movement, your purchase. But what is going internally in your brain, I cannot track. But web stream analysis, you are showing some pattern. You are releasing some pattern. Through this pattern, I can understand your behavior, your preferences, your likes and dislikes. Before buying a product, whether you are going for n number of comparison, whether you are a brand-oriented person, whether you are looking for social media for support, whether you are using a LinkedIn or whether you are using a Facebook, or whether you are just every information you are browsing and confirming to the movement. So whether you are rational or emotional, whether you are looking for a cheap product or costly product, whether you are looking for a branded or unbranded, everything can be done using click stream analysis. So here again I am coming. This all thing is called as a movement related. How you are using the website, how you are using the application is called as web traffic. Next point is commerce based analysis or e-business related activities. It's simple. Here we are speaking about the output. Given you are browsing, after which click you are making a payment or you are making order or you are putting in a cart. So first one, analyze your behavior. Second one, analyze your action with respect to the business. So it is called as commerce-based analysis. How it is beneficial, how it is costly. I can decide, right? Even you may be buying a product regularly, but you are ordering one piece every week. So my delivery cost will be more. What can I do? So I have a design for some combo offer. So you will be clubbing 4 or 5 products together, you will be buying. Likewise, your purchase action, whether you are looking for credit, whether you are looking for cash and carry, by giving a discount, whether your purchase is increasing, or it's just a preponing, or it's actually extra, whether cutting down the discount or reducing the advertisement will encourage you to compare the competitors. That can be analyzed using the click stream analysis. That is called as commerce. How much quantity you are buying, what is the frequency you are buying, from where you are buying, what type of payment you are doing, what type of promotion you are preferring. So it includes cost to profit analysis. So that is simply called commerce based. So click stream analysis is again a very big topic, but to simplify, we are saying using a CRM, we should add one feature called click stream analysis. The click stream analysis, we have to collect many data, store data, analyze data, and it has to report a for decision. It includes two important things. One is web traffic analysis, that is movement of your clicks, movement of your pages, movement of your preferences. Second one, how it is giving a benefit to the business, that is called as commerce-based analysis or e-business related. So these things are explained here. So for click stream data, what we need, so what these are the few things. So what we have to collect, okay, type of usage, what is the URL content? URL content is what page you are using, address, and user machine. This also can be done. So your mobile or what type of mobile. Even I can say whether it's charging or it's fully charged. and what is the SIM you are using, what is the internet speed, everything we can analyze the technology support, user space, and previous URL view. So you can write in a sequence, first URL, second URL, third URL. You have to website. And what is the browser you are using, whether you are using Google browser or some other browser name. So I have to decide, can I go collaborate with Google or creating a Google ad? Can I go with the collaboration with some other platform? Okay, so even the browser type also can. So a source of fixing data, I can use web server. So using the web server, I can understand media server provider. So double click, like as these are the ways I can get the data. So each bit is stuck in the web server. So if you are having it already comes cloud. Okay, each mouse click is actually recorded. Then double click which gives some different answer. And ISP hosting, AOL, 0, these are technical data. These data should be known for the computer people. Okay, so even the market research company, they have a separate software. It is installed in the PC and it is connected to the computer where the customer is using it. I can get any number of. Here I listen very few things. If you join in any analytics company, then you will be understanding lot of technologies are available which can be incorporated in your CRM. So with this, we can close today. There are three different topics under this. First one is click store analysis. First one is online OLAP. First one is online analytical process. When you are designing a CRM, you have to keep three things in mind. One is OLAP, online analytical process. The second one is clickstream analysis. Third one, that might be tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will be discussing. What are things can be personalized? What are things can be collaborated? Coming back, in terms of data analysis in CRM, okay, we are having a data. For data analysis, there's a three types of data analysis. One is online analytical process. Next one is clickstream analytical process. Third one is personalization and collaboration. Okay. So in the next class, we will continue with the personalization and collaboration. The other part in the next class. So I hope the time is over. We can close with this. The students can respond now. So I request all the students to switch on your video. Yes, Shubham. Okay, thank you, friends. Have a nice day.